Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick video on Diddy's ex-bodyguard who was, I think, head of security, Roger Bonds. So Roger Bonds puts a cryptic message on his Instagram, pretty much saying since Cassie named his name in a lawsuit, pretty much saying he was a witness to her abuse, he feels free now to speak out. And he's pretty much saying in his cryptic message, yes, everything Cassie is saying is true. And he said, pretty much family first. I have 4 daughters. And so now I'm going to speak my truth. Hold on a minute. The 4 daughters are not newborns. At some point in time, while you was witnessing what was happening to Cassie, you had at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of those daughters. And so now that she got her own courage to come forth and speak out, and only because she mentioned your name, now you want to tell your truth? This is Roger Bonds. Roger Bonds that said he's from Harlem. Roger Bonds that said he pretty much was born and raised in the streets of Harlem. Everybody knew his name. Roger who said he's known for his integrity. And he called them bodies when they unalive somebody. He said he used his pow a lot, but he didn't get caught with a lot of bodies. In other words, caught with unaliving people. But he said one time, it happened, and they caught his man. They locked his friend up for the body and not him. But he came home, told the police the truth. Now, you can go over there and watch Vlad videos. Watch the whole interview. It was from last year, actually. 120 minutes. I can't play it. It's another content creator's work. I'm telling you what he said. So he said, he came back, turned himself in, said, let my man out, because he didn't do what I did. Okay, so honorable. As he telling his story, you think honor, like, wow, here's a man who could have got away with it because they accused a friend, but he goes down and tells them, no, it wasn't my friend, it was me. So they lock him up. He comes out of jail, another situation happens. He ain't really do nothing, but then he had to go do 5 years of federal time. So they locked him up again. But then when he got out the second time, he said he never looked back on that life. He didn't turn back. But the street respected him because they like, yo, what person, when somebody else is locked up, goes down to the cops and say, no, it wasn't them, it was me. So he got mad street cred, so to speak, because of what he did. And he didn't even do it for that reason. He said if that was just him. And I'm giving you this background to bring you the present day and with Cassie. He also tells the story of how he became Diddy's bodyguard, how Diddy ended up trusting him. And I need you to go look at that Vlad interview and you'll just understand everything that I'm saying here. But I gave you those little tidbits to say this. He said he witnessed these things. Cassie said he witnessed these things. But according to Cassie, and I guess him, he tried to stop Diddy, but he couldn't. So let me bring this together here. Bring this to a little bit of close so you can understand what I'm trying to say here. Here's a man that knew the streets of Harlem way better than Diddy. Here's a man that says, you know what, he's speaking his truth now because he got 4 daughters. And he does not want what happened to Cassie to happen to one of his precious little babies. And he couldn't stop Diddy. The security guard that protects Diddy could not stop Diddy from beating on Cassie. There were times where Cassie and this said bodyguard were alone together. And I don't mean alone together like they was doing something, just alone together because, protecting her, whatever the case may be. All the people from the streets that he knew and everything that he knows and seeing what Diddy was doing to Cassie, he had no power whatsoever to help set Cassie free. I'm not judging, but I think, you know what, sometimes I feel like people they have selective storytelling time. I want to set myself free. I want atonement, because that's what he wants. He wants atonement for allowing his boss, so to speak, to do what he did and still work for him and still get paid, knowing that he was allegedly beating somebody down. But now that he's out of it, he's thinking, "Oh, I don't want that on my daughters. So let me tell my truth now." But nowhere in the midst of the jungle, when Cassie was allegedly getting beat down by Diddy, did Roger Bond say to himself, I gotta say something. Your man was locked up and he didn't do it. You went and said something. Your next case, you wasn't really involved, but you went ahead and did the time. Cassie, you see with your own eyes and try to stop him, but you couldn't. Listen, guys, we're going to get more into this story right after this. All right, let's share screen and get into this story. I feel like, you know what's sad? I feel like everybody who saw these stories, like witnessed what was going on with Cassie and everybody else in that house against their will, needs to be held accountable. So Diddy's bodyguard ready to speak on what he witnessed during Cassie's relationship. But you speaking after this woman's already scarred, broken, endured all the pain, had to suffer through sleeping with random men. And now, because she had the courage to speak up, you're like, "Oh, I'm ready to tell my truth." We already know. Listen, people already have their feelings, and everybody really feels Cassie is telling the truth. So and she settled her lawsuit, and now she can't speak or write a book or do anything. So you coming forth now means what? But let's talk. Roger Bond claims he tried on numerous occasions to stop Diddy from further physically assaulting Cassie Ventura, but was unsuccessful. Roger, the man, was unsuccessful. The man that protected Diddy couldn't protect Cassie from Diddy, but he protected Diddy from some notorious bad people. But he couldn't protect Cassie from Diddy. Diddy's legal troubles continue to intensify more than a week after ex-Cassie Ventura filed her bombshell lawsuit in Manhattan federal court. On Saturday, November 26, Diddy's former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, insisted he was ready to dispel what he witnessed during his time working for Bad Boy Records Mobile. So he's trying to say if it went to trial, he would have did what he had to do. We would have appreciated if you would have saved her and she wouldn't even have this story. Like her story would have been different. Taking the Instagram, Bond shared, "This is not meant to be threats or snitching or anything like that against Cassie or Diddy or anyone else. This is me telling my truth as I remember it for two reasons only. First, because I have 4 daughters. So on all dudes, my truth as I seen it, saw it, and was involved in it for years. You see how people telling themselves when they talk? This is a convoluted sentence. I have 4 daughters. So on all my dues, my truth as I seen it with his own eyes, saw it, and was involved in it. Or he said with it, excuse me, involved with it, involved with it, involved with it for years. There's more people that should be paying for this situation. He said, that's his words, involved with it. He added in the caption, I'm willing to tell my truth because for so many years I was quiet. Nothing matters now but family. No, Roger, more matters. Although she got this money via the lawsuit, her mind, everything she went through, and I'm just guessing, the nightmares, the rehab she had to go through, the surgery with the boobs and them taking it out and do whatever. Pretty much Diddy using her as a human doll. I want to dress her up. I want her to look like this. I want her to do that. You was quiet. Yeah, you was quiet for too many years. No, there's more that matters than just your family. Everybody that suffered under your watch while you stayed silent, they matter too. According to the court docs, Ventura claimed Bonds tried to intervene multiple times in an effort to stop Diddy from further physically assaulting her, but was unsuccessful. In the car leaving the club, Mr. Combs beat Ms. Ventura, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle and stomping on her face, the docs read in part. Mr. Combs' security staff, Roger Bonds, tried to stop the beating, but was unable to de-escalate the situation. When the car arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Ms. Ventura attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. Mr. Ventura was bleeding profusely and was ushered into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from a violent assault. Listen, 911. And if it broke your heart so much, you continue to work for Mr. Combs. You wasn't protecting her anyway. So whether you was there or not there, the same thing would have happened to her. But you continue to work for this man, even though you saw that he was treating a female like that. And now nothing matters but family. Victoria said she was then forced to stay at a hotel for a week as she healed from her injuries. In another incident, Ventura alleged Diddy once beat her so badly she had 2 black eyes, a burst and bruised lip, and a huge welt on her forehead. Once Bond saw her, he began to cry due to the brutality of it all. He begins to cry. Again, never thought, let me call the cops. Roger Bonds is not your average guy. Roger Bonds is from the streets of Harlem. Roger Bonds, and I'm not saying he should have did something to Diddy like unalived him, but I'm just telling you his background. Roger Bonds, out of his own mouth, said he knew how to play with the pow-pows. Roger Bonds did time for unaliving somebody. So this Roger Bonds couldn't shave little Cassie? Since Victoria's filing, 2 other women had come forward with lawsuits alleging Diddy beat and essayed them. Former president of Bad Boy Records, Harvey Pierre, was also sued for essay last week. As for the latest allegations, of course, Diddy rep said these are fabricated claims falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab. And he's saying this about the latest 2 cases, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer. Because Mr. Combs' famous success is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit. Diddy's spokesperson also said New York's Adult Survivor Act, which expired Thursday, November 23rd. Okay, I was thinking the 24th, but I guess, November 23rd at midnight is technically the 24th, right? The act allowed adult survivors of SA to file claims otherwise barred by the statute of limitation. Diddy has been named in multiple lawsuits filed under the act. The rep added the New York legislators surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. Listen, everybody, you know, we want to say people have a right to when they speak up, and that's all true. I just say in this case with Roger Bonds, I understand what he's saying, but I also understand from his own words, for his interviews that he did with Balad TV, that you know, he's that guy. He's that street guy. And I just say this street guy couldn't find any way to help little Cassie against Diddy. It's just interesting. Or did you not you know, want to get involved because of the simple fact of, you know, that was your boss and you wasn't going to lose your job and the money you was making at the time. I bring you to the screen. I cannot play them, but here's it. He did this interview a year ago with Balad TV. So the full interview, I want to say, is 2 hours and change. Okay, can't play it. But then if you want to break up, there are little pockets, right? And this one is 5 minutes where Roger Bonds on becoming Diddy's security tonight. Jay-Z's can't pepper sprayed R. Kelly. Okay, so you can kind of listen to the little pockets, or if you have 2 hours and you want to listen to the whole thing, you can. I'll just, let me see. I could play like 30 minutes, seconds, not minutes, so you can hear his voice. Hold on.
Okay, you alluded to where I want to go earlier in the conversation. Best of Both Worlds tour, Jay-Z, R. Kelly. This is kind of the night that you really, I guess, got you cemented your way in the life of Puff. What happened that night? And
so anyway, I can't play it, guys. Because like I said, this is someone else's video. Y'all can go to YouTube and just type in Roger Bonds, pull up Balad TV, and you will get to see, like, if you want to watch a whole 2-hour interview, but you pretty much hear him say out of his own words, like he was that street dude, right? He knew people, he knew who to call. He when Diddy was traveling around, he would call these cities ahead of time, yo, ba, 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 ba. And I only bring this up to say that, in my opinion, and Diva's opinion only, if back when this was happening to Cassie and he cried and it broke his heart to see her getting beat up like this, he knew people. He knew more people than Puffy did. Get Cassie out of that. Especially you, knowing you have 4 daughters and you would never want these things to happen to your 4 daughters. And I'm hoping not even their mothers. Let me see if I could play a little bit more so you can hear his voice. Hold on.
And how did you really go from, okay, I'm holding Loon down and I'm driving, doing whatever, to now I'm side by side with Puff damn near every day?
It's funny. It's funny how that happened, because, like I told you, my man Nick was there. My man Nick is the one that brought me in. If you remember, back then we had the studio at the same time. So we needed security at the studio. We needed security at 172 or 1440 at that time.
So pretty much he was with Diddy for a while. He was security for Diddy for a while. But he's a street dude. Anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Now, y'all know, y'all be like, Diva, you crazy, you off. He's speaking now. Let it be what it is. I'm just saying, I think it's not right that so many people watch these things go down, and she suffered through so much, and nobody spoke. I'm talking housekeepers. I'm talking security guards. I'm talking just everybody in the camp. I'm talking about the people that went and got her and brought her back when she tried to escape. More people need to go down for this. And the reason why I'm saying more people need to go down for this is because with R. Kelly's situation, he got away with that because there was so many people helping him. But yeah, he's the only one sitting in jail. They said this man couldn't. He's illiterate, can't read, could barely write. So people were getting these plane tickets for him, renting the hotels. I'm talking R. Kelly right now. This was a whole situation, elaborate situation where many people helped him. They need to suffer too. And many people helped Diddy. Anyway, guys, you know the routine. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.